It's true that the drug companies did this to try and solve a problem. But I think they chose a solution which provided them with some returns. The work on vaccines will not be quite so profitable.
When somebody comes up with a simple approach solution, it means that it's challenging these institutions and this establishment. Thousands of people are employed because of the AIDS pandemic. Thousands of people feed through the AIDS pandemic because lots of money is spent in the cycle.
And beginning the drugs was very expensive. A patient had to have the equivalent to spend about $400 to $600 a month to survive on those drugs. That was the cost they were. And most of our patients can't even get $10 a month to live.
You see, if we make money bags and we develop it properly, it takes over until it does. That means we are stepping on the toes of those big, huge companies which make money, which make antiretrovirals. We're not going to be friends. That's certain, we're not going to be friends. But I think for humanity, it's rather better to do what is right.
The antiretrovirals prevented, or they try to prevent, the synthesis of the virus in the cell. They do so to a great extent, but they also prevent the synthesis of the cell in other ways. The cell doesn't do the other things it should do. In other words, it's like poisoning the cell so it cannot produce viruses, but then it cannot do what it should be doing also.
Pharmaceutical companies are not complaining. I don't think there will be those to complain about AIDS. I think there will be those to complain about a quick solution for HIV/AIDS if they do not see how they are part of the business.
I would not like to comment on drugs because I think, if I may say so honestly, the cartel that produces them is so powerful that they'll just destroy me if I said something that was not right.
I think a lot of people are coming around to listen to him. Unfortunately, some of these people who came around to listen to him have done it in almost a dishonest and unethical way, in the sense that I've lived through people who have come listen to Professor Mu, and because of their ease with money and technology, have been able to copy some of what the things he was saying and that nobody listens. And today a lot of people are listening to those things.
Liquid science people from California, with Professor Ansari from Emory University, came here to see for themselves what was happening. And they spoke very well of this, and they said we're going to collaborate. Once they got there and got the answers they wanted, they wrote to me saying that it could not, their laws did not allow them to do this. So I said, well, I knew what they came for. They wanted, they got it, so they go.
If Vanovax becomes a successful therapeutic vaccine for HIV/AIDS, this is not the end of the story. Beliefs need to change, and that will be harder than developing a successful vaccine.
My idea of actually curtailing and taking care of this illness involves the whole society reorganized. There has to be frankness at every level.
You see, I said that it's a circle. Yes, you can break the circle. How do you break the circle? You can break the circle if you can care that when the children are about to be born, the mothers at delivery, they get antiretroviral drugs. The ribapin that makes them to deliver children that are AIDS-free.
The UN Special Envoy for AIDS in Africa, Stephen Lewis, says that fewer than 10% of HIV-positive women are getting the simple interventions that could keep them from infecting their babies.
You can only break the cycle if you take care of the orphans, the AIDS orphans. You can break the cycle if you start to take care of the thousands of of AIDS orphans that we get.
The quest for children in Africa is insatiable.
Because of polygamy, you have so many children. Nobody can. And when you have so many, you can't take care of them. It's a fact. So they're bound to go astray. Because child upbringing is a conscious act. It's a conscious fact. It's something like a job. It's not something you just throw children and you think they'll go like, I don't know, like shrubs or like herbs or no.
You can break the cycle if you start to have big HIV/AIDS programs in the school, right?
Now, my view about the war on AIDS is the fact that currently the most challenging thing we have in the war against AIDS has been just education, educating the young people and also educating everybody. It sounds so basic, but it is still something that is quite important in the environment. Quite important.
The government has to ensure that sex education is well enshrined in the curriculum, in the country. Because you have, I don't think that children that are attending primary, secondary school, even high school, even university don't have adequate sex education given to them.
You can break the cycle if you bring a lot of people who are social scientists who can work on things like life skills in the community to get many, many people.
Professor Wilfred Mbocham is a prominent member of the Cameroon medical community and director of the Fobeng Foundation. Through innovative educational programs that work directly with the needs of each community, the Fobeng Foundation is helping to break Dr. Chendi's circles.
Best vaccine against HIV is prevention, and to bring the critical mass of people to understand that this is a deadly disease and you get it because you make the choice at times to be involved in certain behaviors that you could avert.
A lot of people are dying. And it's not that you can't say it's not like he or she. It could be your brother, it could be your sister, it could be anybody. Because as far as sex is concerned, it's actually a melting pot. Everybody sleeps with everybody. It just like goes round and round like that. And so nobody can actually say he or she is going to be free.